I am back from my work trip. I went eastbound from Ontario to Quebec. I went to Montreal. I was there for work for this week, and I'm very tired right now. But I said that on my way back, I would try to hit some thrift shops, and I did. I did end up leaving Montreal a little later than I thought, and so I didn't get to hit as many of these thrift shops on the way down as I would have hoped for. I ended up hitting 2 of the thrift shops along the way. There were probably 4 I wanted to hit, but I didn't get to all of them. I knew I was running out of time. These stores close at 9 p.m. Thankfully, or maybe not so thankfully, the shelves weren't that big. The selection was a little bit dismal. I didn't hit any of them in Toronto, a very big city. There's multiple of these Value Village thrift shops out there. I'm sure the metropolitan area has a much broader selection, but alas, I went to the capital city, Canada, and I didn't find anything. It was like maybe 20% of what, oh man, less than that. It was like 10 to 15% of the shelves that I have in the city that's about half an hour away from me, which is crazy. And then I went from Ottawa to, I think Kingston was the next stop I was able to get off on, and it was already 8 p.m. These stores close at 9, but I came away with 5 books. So here's the short selection of books that I was able to get. I had one in my hand for about 45 minutes, and then the store was going to close. I had 15 minutes left. They were calling people to do the checkout, and I was like, okay, time to pick 3 more, and I did. So this was one of the 3 that I picked right there, Isaac Asimov, The Foundation. Now I have been looking for this one since hitting these thrift shops up. I figured, like, I've seen Isaac Asimov books. I have one of them. I don't know of what series it's part of. I gotta go find it. It's on one of those shelves behind my monitor. I keep pointing in that direction like you can see what I'm pointing at. In any case, I have one Isaac Asimov book, and I do want to collect more of them, just because, you know, he's a staple. He's a staple of sci-fi, especially this Foundation series. So there's 4 books in the Foundation series, and this was one that I had found. It's easily in the best condition of all the Isaac Asimov books I might have found to date. I don't think I've ever seen the Foundation book, the first of the series, which is like, I've seen other ones in the series, but not this one. And this one is a relatively perfect spine. So I mean, I can't complain. And this one for $1.99. So it was the cheapest of the books that I found in the haul, which unfortunately, buy 4, get 1 free. I got $2 off because this one came off the price. I wish it was a more expensive book, but I was under pressure, man. What do you want from me? So beyond that, I found the second book, which was great because now I have the first book of Foundation. I have Foundation and Empire by Isaac Asimov. There are 4 books in the series, which I'll flip to right now, right there. So we still have Foundation's Edge and Foundation and Earth. I don't think I have ever seen those books on any of the shelves because I would have seen the word Foundation and thought, oh, that's probably one that I need to get. And this is another scenario where it's literally a perfect spine, folks. I can't be more proud. I mean, there's a little bit proud, excited. There's a little bit of a flare there. Maybe each corner has a little micro flare. The pages are all obviously browned. Like, this is definitely on a windowsill, like with sun hitting it. For its lifespan, which is probably, it's not that bad. 1989 was when this version was printed. So, yeah, it's got some years on it, but pretty decent. Anyways, I got this one for $3.99, the more expensive one of the set, because I ended up finding a third one of this series, The Robots of Dawn. There were only 3 Isaac Asimov books there, and I picked all of them up. And again, just really quickly, of course, because I like to talk about it, because these are thrift books, and you'd expected them to be in worse damage, and there are definitely books that are in critical condition on these shelves, on every one of these shelves. And I just pass them by because I'm like, I'm a patient man. I will find the one that deserves to come home with me. Definitely a crease there if I can get it into the glare. There it is. That's good enough. Anyways, it's a bit of a crease, but otherwise, pretty decent condition. It's got some dings on the back. The pages are way less yellowed. It looks like a relatively new book, to be honest. I'm curious about the publication date. We are looking at 1984. Actually, an older book than this Foundation book, which, did I check the date on this thing? 1984. So 1984, 1989 reprint, and then a 1984. And this is part of what series? This is part of the Robot series or something like that. See, I've been looking for iRobot just because, you know, that's also like one of those staples I feel like I need to read. I really do. I know the ideas of it, but I like to read it. This one is The Robots of Dawn. So unfortunately, this is book 3 of the Robot novels right there on the list. So, got some hunting to do. I thought this would be a much larger list of Isaac Asimov books out there. I'm actually surprised that it's not that crazy. It looks like something I could probably hunt down slowly but surely. Del Rey books. It seems like they're all Del Rey. Yep. So this is the beginning of my Isaac Asimov thrift book hunt, which is great. And that moves me on to one that I have no idea about, but I like the title of it. And I love the feeling of it because it has that soft touch cover, Beyond Redemption. And I loved Red Dead Redemption. One of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite gaming experience of all time. I don't know if this was an intentional play on words. I don't know if this is a cowboy book. I don't know if this is just a book with people on horses. I don't know if this is a Native American book. I'm not sure, folks. I found it. I was under pressure and I picked it off the shelf and I walked away with it. Michael R. Fletcher, but I also picked it up because it is in absolutely perfect condition. Not a ding on the covers, and it's $5.99 price tag right there, and it would have gone for $20. So let me just read this with you. So it says, faith shapes the landscape, defines the laws of physics, and makes a mockery of truth. Common knowledge isn't an axiom, it's a force of nature. What the masses believe is an axiom, but insanity is a weapon, conviction a shield. Delusions give birth to foul new gods. This isn't even like, I thought this would be like a mundane kind of story. No, I'm seeing foul new gods, and I'm thinking, is this fantasy? I've never heard of this. Violent and dark, the world is filled with, oh God, I'm not going to pronounce that. Focus. The Geishenkraken, men and women whose delusions manifest, twisting reality. What did I pick up by accident? I literally, this is the first time I'm reading this. I know you think I would have read this before running out of the store with it. It says, High Priest Koenig seeks to create order from chaos. He defines the beliefs of his followers, leading their faith to one end, a young boy, Morgan, who must ascend to become a god they can control. This is crazy. Michael R. Fletcher is a Canadian writer whose first novel, 88, was published by Five Rivers Publishing, a small Canadian press. Anyone familiar with this book? Man. To continue, but there are many who would see this would-be god in their thrall, including the high priest's own Doppels, capital D, and a slaver, capital S. No one can resist. 3 reprobates, the greatest swordsman in the world, a murderous kleptic, capital K, and possibly the only sane man left, have their own nefarious plans for the young god. As these forces converge on the boy, there's only one obstacle: time is running out. When one's delusion becomes more powerful, they become harder to control. The fate of the Geistkraken is to inevitably find oneself in the after death, capital A. The question then is, who will rule there? Actually, I've become more curious and more thankful that I randomly and accidentally and under pressure picked this up. I love the feeling of the soft touch covers. Anyways, there you go. There's the book number 4. And then this was the book that I carried through the store with me for an hour until I found something else, because I had to leave with 5 books to get one free, which unfortunately was the cheapest book, was $2, and it was not the best. I wasn't min-maxing. I had no choice. $5.99. You can see by the red cover. I got Blood of Elves by Sapkowski, which is of course the Witcher series of novels. And I was going to buy this entire set new off of Amazon for probably 3 years now, but I keep holding off on it because I want to finish playing Witcher 3, which I haven't. I just started it a long time ago and then restarted it. I need to get past the beginning part of the game. It's a long game and it's a big commitment, and so it intimidates me. But anyways, Blood of Elves, I believe, is the 3rd book of the series. But I ask you all, those of you who know better, why does that say 1 on the spine there? Is this a book 1 of the series, but there's like a reading order? But I did check the inside cover there, and it says The Last Wish, Sword of Destiny, Blood Elves. Is this the 3rd book or the 1st book? I don't understand. Are the other ones anthologies or short stories? What's the reading order? I'm not sure. This is by Orbit. I've heard a lot of good things on, I think BookTube has mentioned Orbit once in a while, and I don't think I was ever familiar with them, but now I am. I guess they published the Witcher books. And I have seen these covers before, and I wouldn't have gotten this if it wasn't in absolutely perfect condition. This is like, no one has cracked into this book. It is in perfect condition. $5.99 is what I got it for, and it would have gone for $23 Canadian. Can't go wrong. So even if I were to slowly collect the rest of these or buy them new, to be honest, I don't think it would do any harm. Oh, look at that. I should flip through these and like see if I find little things like this I can show. It's got like the little free library. That's someone's personal address probably. Well, why would you have put that? Or I mean, maybe not. Always a gift. Little free library, never for sale. Yeah, but it's one of those little, we have a lot of these around town. I mean, at least in the town I'm in, it's a smaller community. But like the last house I was in, the neighbors in front of me had one of these little small libraries, but I think my road had like 3 of them just on it. And I never really opened them up. I don't know why. But this one was in Kingston, and I don't know if this is someone's address, but it's just kind of weird. Unless it's not a personal address, because there's like a bench and a little tree there, so maybe it's like a park where people can go and drop off books or something like that. But I actually feel kind of bad about this now, because if this was in a little free library and it's in perfect condition, someone literally pulled this out of a little free library and then donated it to a thrift shop. What's wrong with you people? Anyways, it's a $23 book. I mean, crazy, right? Anyways, Blood of Elves. So at one point or the other, I will be reading, I can't say his name, Andrzej Sapkowski. I hope I said that right. You'd figure I would have heard his name enough going around, like people talking about the creator of Witcher, but I have never had to say his name out loud, unfortunately. So there you go. That was the 5th book. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. So 2 books at $6 each, 1 book at $3, 1 book at $2, and 1 book at $4. Where did I put the receipt? So I can put whatever the price is right here. I did get the buy 5 books, get 1 free. I would have been the $2 off. I ended up getting a 20% off coupon because it was my birthday month last month. And so Bam bam. Thank you, ma'am. Anyways, and then so there you go. There's the total. There's the total. The actual savings I got based on cover price. Fun little haul. Fun little road trip. Short little vlog. I wish I had 20 books to show you, but I did not. I wish I had more time. I love road tripping, and I'll leave the rest of what I could talk about for the next update video on the channel. I'm gonna try to keep those weekly. I'll see you there. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace.